Hello.
Hey guys.
Hey, how we doing? Welcome to 3 at 3. Welcome everyone. Welcome to another episode. Today we have theme 1. This is for education data. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have Mohammed, our friend from Phoenix, Arizona. He's also a Tableau user group leader in Phoenix. We have Aaron and myself and Jamil Medina. We work here at Data Meaning. I'm a principal consultant at Data Meaning. Aaron is a senior consultant here at Data Meaning. We have our friends. So, Mohammed, where do you work? What do you do? Where do you work?
Thank you, Yamil. So, hey everyone, I'm Mujahid, and I'm a business intelligence analyst at User Ready.
Okay, awesome. Good. Yeah. You want to say anything else?
Yeah. I just graduated in May from Arizona State University with a master's degree in computer engineering.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I find the BI and data Viz space to be really exciting and looking forward to what mystery charts we have today.
Oh, thank you very much. We have a great ones today. So if you join us for the first time, this is a mystery chart show. We're bringing different mystery charts. So every one of us have a chart, a visualization we're going to bring in here, and we're going to just start discussing what we think about it. We have never seen these visualizations before. And the cool thing is, we have 3 nice questions. We're going to say, hey, what is this all about? Can we understand what is this all about? Is there anything that is confusing? And at the end, what can we do to make it better, right? We hope to learn, and you can learn with us too, right? Because we're going to have these questions available in the chat so you can also participate. And we hope that you can bring us, up to speed and tell us, what do you think about these visualizations too? At the end, we're just trying to learn to do better about data visualization, to become better data visualization developers, and to use, best practices. That's the idea here. Aaron, anything else that you wanted to add about these sessions? What do you like them so much? Anything else you want to add?
I like scrolling through all the comments when people are just discussing things, because again, they got things that I hadn't thought about, exactly. Things I missed. So it's always your perspective when you're looking at these is always different.
Exactly. So Alain, let's start with the first visualization. The first visualization is going to be from me, and it's going to be very cool. Is that actually a simple one? And this is my visualization for today. So because it's the data, the data today is about education. What I really like about this visualization, what I want to pick this visualization for today was because of the way that they present this visualization. I'm not going to say too much about it, but this is about data literacy, like literacy rates about from male versus female, right? And this is about the percentage of people that can read or write globally. And it was very interesting to me how they put these charts together. I'm not going to say anything else to have Aaron tell me. Aaron, what do you think about this visualization? What was your first impression and any insight that you can gather?
The first thing I had to figure out was the axis at the bottom there. Mm-hmm. So it looks like it's like reversed on one side so that they meet as a peak. Thought that was interesting. The colors, I'm good with that. It almost seems like this is the piece to draw you in to whatever article this may have been for. So I think they did a pretty good job here.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Even when I took a first look at this chart, I was confused to see 2017 in the center and 1976 on either side of the axis. So it did take me a little bit of time to figure out why the x-axis, the horizontal axis, is built that way. One thing I like is that the female and male words in the title, they've been matched with the colors of the individual area charts. So that way we don't need to have a separate legend. So I think that's one good trick to use in most of the charts.
Good point.
Okay, yeah. So when I selected this, the same thing that most of you said already is like, I feel like the axis, there were like one of them goes left to right, the other one goes right to left, right? So they're like putting like this together, which I don't know. I think it may be confusing for some people. I think for people like us that we're reading visualizations all the time will be okay. So it depends on the audience. This could be good, bad. Also, I love the idea, right, of the color. Female is the same color, male is the same color, so it's easy to understand, easy to go really fast with it. I like the title. One of the things that I wanted to tell you is I have another alternative. So I found the alternative too. It was available. But those are the things that I can get. I think the only thing that is confusing, if we start with the second question, is that kind of like, it could be confusing for some people because it goes to it just comparing one to the other like this and the reverse axis. So those are the only things that for me, it could be confusing at this time.
Yeah, for me, Emil, I don't ever use these types of charts, these like area charts, because it almost looks like there's volume there. Like I'm supposed to be paying attention to some kind of volume, and I don't see that. So like this very much looks like a slope chart. Like where were we? Where did we end? And there's not much change there from one to the other. But I kind of would like to, if there was the percentage change under that 83% or under that 90%, so I could see if that having to do the math in my head, I can instantly see what that gain was compared to the other, if it was male or female.
Okay. So we have Sydney from the chat says, nice graph, interesting visualization, simple and straightforward to the point. And Michael Perello have almost the same, comments. He said that it's fairly easy to read and interpret. It seems aligned with the title, the objective. Correct, the objective. That's a good one.
Yeah, he talks about taking up a lot of space, and that's kind of where I was going to. It's almost like you could have just done those slope charts and then had half a page to put anything else that was relevant here into one view.
Correct.
Yeah, probably annotate using that white space, right? If we have like a slope chart. So that would have been better.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody from the chat? Anything else you want to add? Before I show you the alternative. I have the alternatives. So I wanted to show it to you very quickly.
So I'm going to have to start practicing. You're coming with these alternatives every week. So I'm going to have to up my game level.
It was easy to find this alternative. Anybody else from the chat? Oh, okay. I'll show you the alternative. And this time, what I did was I have both at the same time. So believe it or not, it's exactly what you all were saying, right? It's so the alternative. It's this slope chart. The other cool thing I like about the alternative was that they changed the title to make it more easy to understand, right? So it says females steadily catching up to males in literacy in the last 40 years. So this is one alternative that we can use to this chart. And it takes less space. Absolutely. It takes a lot less space. Yeah. So what do you think about the alternative, Aaron?
It's easier to look at. Again, with those area charts on the left, there's a lot going on, especially if you color them. But they did the same thing with the color legend. That's good. Perhaps you don't need to put male and female on those lines if you have the legend above it.
Correct.
But you could do like we were saying, if you just bump that up, because it doesn't necessarily, it's taking up the entire height of this screen. But if you were to just raise that up, you could put something else under there if there's anything relevant. Perhaps there's no data for that, but it's still taking up a lot of space, but there's less color, so it is easier to see. Correct.
It's taking less colors. So Mohammed, do you have any other comments on the new chart and the alternative?
I really like how having those two lines below each other is actually we can actually see that the female line is getting closer to the male line, and that was not actually very easy to sort of infer from the earlier version. So yeah, it's nice, it's simple, and I completely agree with what Aaron mentioned, that I don't think it's necessary to have male and female labels on the lines again, because it just makes it redundant. And I would probably get rid of grid lines as well, I guess, because it's like the way the female line is approaching the male line. I think it's fairly clear. So
exactly. So you can see the variance is getting shorter, right? It's just easier to see from like 80. It seems like you said like 82 or 85 to 90. In the other one, 83, exactly, 83 to 90 in this case. So you can see that it's getting closer and closer, right? And the other one is harder to see. What I do like is, and the article was talking about this, is that, you know, in the left one, you have left to the right, right? On the female, and the yellow one is right to left. So kind of like taking that away from the visualization, make it easier for the user. I think it's so much easier here on the right because it makes more sense, right?
I also noticed that they started the axis at 60%. You know, if you start that at 0, maybe you can't tell that difference. But if you shorten up that axis, because that's the story you want to tell, are catching up to the males, that's a good use of that.
Exactly.
Gustavo, I think Gustavo has a comment. He says that as a reader, I'd like to see the word world in the title. Yeah, exactly. So I definitely think that putting that world literacy or like the worldwide literacy adds in like a lot of context to the visualization, and it definitely helps the user or the reader, whoever is looking at the visualization, just immediately understand that, okay, this is worldwide data we're talking about, right?
Correct. And this is World Bank. So you can see underneath says the data is from World Bank. Yes. And that's true. That should be included on the new one, right? Like this is the word globally. So you're right, Gustavo. Thanks for that, Gustavo. Anybody else in the chat? Anybody else? Before we go to the next one. So we went to this one really quick because the next one is going to be a little bit more difficult. So Owen, let's go to the next one. Thank you very much, everyone. Let's go to the next one. This one will be really cool, this next one.
All right. So when I was looking for a chart, I don't know if you guys are aware of the data is ugly subreddit, but you just go to data is ugly subreddit, and we get to see like a lot of examples, and people actually provide suggestions there in the comments on how to improve upon those charts. So this is one of the charts which I found from the Data is Ugly subreddit. So here, this chart actually talks about the 20 largest solar power plants in the world. So just by looking at this chart, right, Yamil and Aaron, what are your first thoughts? What do you guys think of this?
Is it possible to make it a little bit, like if you can increase the size?
Yeah, let me zoom into it.
Just try a little zoom, zoom a little bit.
Yamil, you can also look in the chat, the link to it, and you can zoom in that way too.
Yeah,
that's true. Let me do that. I'm sorry. Let me do that. I'll send it to everyone.
Yeah, just send it to the chat so everyone can.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then I can just keep scrolling as you guys want me to. I can switch to the tab.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's start from the top, right?
Okay. Wow. That's impressive. It's really good. So that everybody knows, I have never seen this before. My first time.
So
solar power plants. Oh, this is really cool. You know, the solar power plants in the world. Okay.
So what we see here is that they have like these bar charts. Here, the length of the bar charts, I'm assuming, is showing us the capacity of those plants.
Okay,
as you can see here.
Megawatts. The megawatts, okay.
Yeah, the megawatts, right? Megawatts peak, yeah.
Okay.
So they have the length of the bar shows the capacity of those plants, and then what they've tried to do here is that they've tried to create like a, I don't know what if there's a specific name for this kind of a almost like a sunburst diagram, right?
Okay.
But
yeah,
what they try to do is they try to make a sort of an area chart to, let's see, what's this? This is the, to show the actual area of that solar power plant, and the area they've provided in acres and square miles. And they've also put in like the flags of the respective country to which they belong for the areas. So I feel like this entire chart is divided into three main parts. The first part gives us the capacity. The second part gives us the area of that power plant. And then the third part at the bottom, it just shows us the capacity of solar stations over time, right?
Okay.
Solar power stations. So 3 parts. Now that we have some context of the chart, initial first thoughts. What do you say?
There's a lot going on here.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
I would say I because they're talking about solar power plants, the one part that I do like, it's intermixed with everything else, is the area. Kind of looks like a waffle chart that shows you the size of that power plant. That's kind of neat. Obviously, there's a lot of colors, a lot of other stuff going on. But
the amount of
those peaks in the middle just are like confusing.
Yeah, the amount of cognitive load with this chart, I think it's a lot for a user to take in. And I feel like they could have, let's look at the chart again, right? Let me zoom into the chart. All right. So since they've already labeled these bars with the name of the solar power plant, I feel like they could have probably used fewer colors, right? Because I don't really know what the colors are signifying here. Like, and then if you notice closely on the bars, you see that there's this sort of shading which pops up at the top. So does that signify anything? It's not clear, right? Right.
Yeah.
So these are a few things which I noticed.
And you have to so they've got the bars in the middle, then they got all the area charts on their outside, and there's actually lines that connect. Like I'm trying to follow this purple one. Like you have to really find where that goes to follow up the post.
Yeah. So the first thing is it's definitely confusing that they're trying to do 3 stories here. It seems like,
in a single shot.
3 different stories, 3 different things that they want the user to grab right from here. That's confusing. I didn't even before you were moving to the left and on the bottom. I didn't even notice that, right? I was having a problem with that. It seemed what I like is the only thing that I like actually is kind of like the flags, right? Those icons, the flags, the circles with the flag are neat. That's something that could be used in an alternative chart or alternative visualization here. But it's definitely confusing. There is also this shade in the middle. There is like a shade. If you go a little bit down, this is the shade.
Yeah, this one. Right?
I don't know what that shade is. I'm trying to understand what
that.
So like there's a shade,
anything.
and I don't know what it is. It's just more like colorful on the bottom, a little bit less on top. I did like the thing about the area, but it's confusing. And then they also have the years. It's just too much. They also have the years here for each year.
Yeah, at the bottom, right?
At the bottom.
And then they've used bubble charts.
This one could work by itself, the one on the bottom, right? But without those shades. But this could work if you have like a timeline and it's a straight. Like if this was a straight as a timeline and in one's only visualization, just one, not with everything else, it may work better. But it's just all together. It's just very confusing. I don't know.
And because they've used like circles or like the circular marks here, right? As the marks keep getting bigger here, the overlapping region sort of gives us an impression of a Venn diagram sort of thing, right? So I don't know if that means, okay, we have a comment saying the shade is proportion to the value.
Exactly.
Okay. Got it.
There's not much value to it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if you put this as a bar chart, you'd be able to see the difference, the significant jumps from one to the other. Like, for example, if we're looking at the bottom, the American one from 2012 to 2014, like it's twice as big, and you can't tell that with a circle.
Yeah.
No. You see, it says that it's a timeline. You can see here on the title, but it's just going around. I know that they want to make it like a circle like this, but if it was a straight, it could work, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be like this. It's more confusing. At least it tells you that it says Lugo, United States, that's the plant name, and then ended in India on the right on 2020, which is larger solar stations since 1982. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe if they just did this, not the top 20, but the top 5 or 10, that would be a little easier to follow.
Yeah, probably.
Also, it doesn't look like, unless I'm mistaken, so that like the area charts that I liked, it's not. How's it sorted?
Yeah.
Does it have a sort? Because like the first one from India, and then the next one's a tiny little sliver of orange from China.
I think they've just gone in the order of bars here, I guess. So as you can see, the first area chart is green in color, and then the second waffle is orange. Third one is dark green. So they've sorted the bars, and then they've gone with the area charts just in the order of bars, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but I would still prefer using a tree map, simple tree map for to show the area and the proportions, right? Tree maps work well for that.
Perfect. Okay, so a tree map is, yeah, you're right. A tree map could be a really good alternative here. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, that could work great for here. So you don't need to have all of this here together, right? You can use the
you could split them up.
Yeah, and then have maybe kind of like the flag as maybe a little circle as a flag in each one of the pieces of the tree map or something like that, or some type of, or just the name of the country, and that's it. Yes. Anything else, Aaron? Anybody from the chat that wants to?
Do you guys know? So, like on the kind of the area charts, there's a number, and then a line, and then another number after that. Do we know what that other number is?
On the the number after the pipe symbol.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's just the other unit. So here they've mentioned acres and square miles, right?
Square miles. Okay.
I'm assuming that's square miles.
Okay.
Square miles. Yeah, it is square miles. Yes.
Yeah, it is square miles, right?
Okay.
Yes. That makes sense.
I notice I'm doing. I don't know if you probably can't see me, but I'm doing a lot of like left and right, just trying to read it because it's at so many different angles.
Exactly.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to do that, right? You don't want to let the users to go left to right and having a difficult time to understand what this is. So where do you found this? Where was that an article?
So there's actually a subreddit of all these kinds of interesting charts which can be improved. It's called Data is Ugly, r/data is ugly. So you can just put that in the chat for people to go and take a look at it.
Do you know if do you know where this was like posted at, like some kind of news source? Do you know where it came from?
Let me quickly check. I just got it. So it says solarpower.guide. I think it's a journal for solar power or something. That's
fine. I was just curious.
Yeah, here, if I scroll down, you can just look at this, right?
Yeah.
It says solarpower.guide. So it's from that source.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else from the chat wants to let's see.
Yes, Alan, it's r/data is ugly, and there are no spaces. Alan just posted in the chat. Yeah.
Okay, you can post it in the chat. Let me see. Okay, anybody else from the chat wants to let us know what do you think? Anything that you wanted to say before we go to the next one? We're almost there. The one from Aaron is going to be very interesting.
Excited to see what Aaron has brought today.
Aaron, yeah.
I actually have a good one this time.
Oh, really?
That's a good one for me, in my opinion.
So what is this? Michael said, this chart is communicating many different stories. A common dashboard theme as an alternative will make sense to break this out in different stories. Correct.
Totally.
So it has three different stories, right? You can see three different stories, which make no sense. Now, it could be that if you have a kind of like in a dashboard form, right? Maybe you have three different charts. Maybe that could work. But if it had to be interactive, because there was too many things there, so you have to take things out, and maybe you wanted to see just one country at the time or something, something like that. I don't know, but it depends. But you're right. Do you want to say anything else? Yeah.
And like Aaron said, if like the 20, focusing on the 20 largest solar power plants is not like a hard and fast requirement, we could probably reduce that number to maybe like 10 or 5, just to focus on the top most largest solar power plants, right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely a good idea again.
Yeah.
And I know it's not interactive, but if it were, I would want to see a filter like, let me choose a country.
Exactly.
Yeah, by country, right?
By country or region, because then you could do, let me see, I don't know, Asia, or see South America, or maybe North America. I mean, like, depends on the region, or something like, like, if you're focusing on something more specific, more like condensed, then it could be easier to understand.
Yes.
Yeah. So that could also help us a lot. But it's really good. It's very interesting. It's actually very interesting. So thank you. So Elaine, just bring in the one from Aaron to see what Aaron has for us today.
Oh, it's a waffle chart.
So what we're looking at is this is a dashboard that was put together to identify and monitor underperforming students. So this is like a college or a high school or wherever. And over here in this section, they've got, it's refreshing. This section, they've got the student and the grade, and then what grade they're currently getting. Over here, you're looking at the complete. All the gray ones are complete. You got red ones that are missing, yellow ones that are late. Down here, you have the course grade distribution, which are these same grades here. And then this is the late assignments, which is the same yellow color. And then you have the missing assignments, which is this red color.
Is there a reason why it looks a little bit like hard to, it's a little...
Yeah, it looks blurry, right?
Blurry, yeah. Blurry.
If you could share the link in the chat. Maybe
yeah, No, I have it. Hold on a second.
See, I gave it to...
Yeah, I have it. I'm gonna put it in the chat, so anybody that wants to, if you guys want to go there and check it out.
So I'll just keep going while we're figuring that out. What feature that I do like is that it has two different tabs here. So if you are Ernest Hemingway and you want to know why he's getting a C, you could go and view his dashboard, and then it jumps you to that one, and it gives you just a snapshot of what's going on with that student.
That's cool.
Really cool.
So you got some bands up here. You've got what's missing and what's not. You got the due dates, which is the axis. You got each of the activities here. You got what they scored on each activity. Not sure about times viewed and participated, but I just like the ability of being able to drill down without having it all be on one screen. As Michael was saying about, it's telling different stories, separate them. Here they kind of do that. You get a complete picture of how the students are doing and who's missing what. This person's a problem. Margaret's a problem. And then if you want to go to that person, you can drill into that person and see how they're doing. So I like that interactive ability.
Can you hold control and do 2 or 3? Is it possible? Like control and then click on 2? Yeah, okay. Did I let you?
It's got them listed up here. It's got the grades. It's got so it looks like it does combine them.
Okay.
Yeah, it gives like a summary dashboard of whoever you've selected, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but I really like one thing that there's not like a lot of colors here. I mean, there's just grays, red, and yellow. It's like a defined theme across all the dashboards, right? So it's kind of easier for the user to sort of read and interpret. There's not like a lot of cognitive load which is on the user, I guess, and there's not a lot of distractions, I feel like.
Yeah, there's three colors. It's gray, yellow, and red.
So red is missing, yellow is late, and gray is complete. I like it.
And you can see the trend of late is going down, right? Good use of this line here, and you can see the trend of missing is going up. Not good. So again, these are pretty simple. There's not a lot of visual appeal to these, but the story that you're trying to tell, I think, does that really well.
Correct. So Michael Perlo have the same comment. He said, I like the emphasis is on the yellow and red. The gray is mostly muted, so it's easy to read. Correct. So that's great, data visualization best practices, right? So what is the emphasis? What is the story that you want to tell? Gray is not that important here. So you're more focusing on the yellow and red. So definitely, I agree with 100%. Yep. Yeah. Let me see. I like that it's easy to read. Mm-hmm.
Another comment by Michael, right? So he says that he would like to see consistency in font size and row spacing. Completely agree with that. Probably, like the grades which we see on the screen, right? Like the B15, 4, and 3, those could be, like the size of them could be reduced a little bit, I believe. And just freeing up a little bit of white space could be one enhancement here, right?
Okay, so there's a very lot of many agreement. Everybody's agreeing in the chat. We have Alan saying the same thing. It's easy to understand. You can follow it, which is the idea is just that's the main idea, right? Of data visualization is just to provide that story, and you have to be easy to understand.
Yeah, and if you're looking at like a student, and there's a couple of spots where they're failing. Again, because it's interactive, which is a key feature here in Tableau, is if they go to that student dashboard, and this is for this student, they can export this and send it to that student. Say, look, here's your performance so far. Here's where you're struggling. Pick it up. Or if it's someone who's doing really well, like, hey, you're doing pretty well. Here's your scorecard for the quarter or whatever.
So you can take action. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what I also like about this version is it's downloadable if you have Tableau, and you can use it. Like edit it to how you need to. Maybe you're not looking at education things. Maybe you're looking at other metrics, other things you want to kind of use. But this is a good visual. Only 3 colors. You're only highlighting those most important things. You have the interactivity to go to another dashboard that's embedded within this first dashboard. I just think it's really, really well put together.
Yeah, and when you click on the bar and go to a specific student's dashboard, right? I think that view can be embedded. So if you click on that, so this view can be embedded within each student's individual internet portal or something if they have that, right? So that it's readily available to them.
Correct. The other thing that is neat about it is this. I like that they're providing some bands or call out numbers. So here we see A+, 18, 2. There's some call out numbers for you to follow. Also, there is trend on the bottom, right? One of the things that I like a lot, and tell me, Aaron, if I'm right, the titles are questions. Is that right?
I was just going to bring that up. Yes, it is personalized. Instead of just a statement, it's a question, so that visualization will answer that question.
Correct. Can you expand it a little bit so they can see like there is some questions there? Yeah. So you can
how are my students? What are they struggling with? What's the grade distribution?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I try to do that myself, my dashboard and visualizations. I try to provide a question, right? Because that is so easy, right? If you have the question in the title, then you're obviously trying to answer that question in the visualization, correct? So I like that a lot. I use that a lot. So I like that.
Yeah, we got this one, this one, and this is just on the second page.
Correct. So. Correct. I like that a lot. the other thing that it's that could help this here is if they provide. So now if we go into the what could be a little bit better. So you see where it says what is the student? I think it's assignment breakdown. So one of the things that you could do there is to add a filter to be able to sort each one of this in a different, like if I want to sort by activity percentage or by time view or participated, like if I add one more, because I think that you can only sort one in one way here. I don't think you can sort it.
You can do it by activity or points out of possible.
Correct.
Just those though.
Yeah, but if you could sort also by the other metrics, that could help too.
See, the one thing you can sort on this page is you can do it alphabetically, but if you can also do it by grade.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
So I'm going to see what are the poor students doing. Let's go look at theirs. And you can immediately see what it is that they're all missing.
Okay, that's great.
You know, maybe that's on the person teaching this class is like, what did I do for this assignment in this discussion that was so much worse than the others as far as performance is concerned? You know, maybe it's the time of year, maybe it's the assignment itself, but it's a good breakdown.
We have something from the Aaron. Check the chat or the arithmetics will be improved to make things clear. Let's see. So what do you think about that? What Chris says, Aaron?
That is true. This red really does.
Yeah.
It's super bright and the yellow's kind of muted. That's a good point.
We get a border when we hover over those marks, but having a border without the need to hover, I think it would have been helpful here.
So the color intensity, right? It's true, you know, like if you maybe, since the gray is already not intense at all, right? It's not an intense color or anything. The other ones should be, you can reduce the opacity of the other two, so they're not that bright, right?
Yeah.
Says really faint yellow. Okay, that's true.
You know, one thing that it's not super clear is, so these are all the assignments. There's no axis that tells us the assignment number or anything, so you don't natively know what all these boxes are unless you look at it for a few minutes.
But if you hover on it, you can see something, right? Okay, that's what I wanted to look at. Okay, you can see the assignment and some there's some notations there, like, you know, what is it, when was complete or when was started, due date, I'm sure, like due date and time view. Okay, that's great. That's great. What else? I don't know if I love what do you guys think about that on the top, where they have the title, the sensitive data university. I'm not sure if I will use this black color background. I don't think it's needed, right? Like that. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I think it just takes too much space and takes too much ink.
It is a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just one filter here.
The width can be reduced.
Substantially smaller. It looks so much better, I think. And you don't need that. And then the bars here, where you're scrolling now, they're really close together. But then there's a lot of information too. So, but it's still, I think it fits the purpose, right? For the specific student, if they're looking at a specific student, they can find themselves. So it's for I think for this audience, it's great.
Yeah, even this one right here, it's just what's the grade distribution. So you can see I'm getting a D in this class. Oh, whoops, I'm the only one getting a D in this class. You know, there's two here. Can't quite tell that because you have to hover on it to see that, but it's the same axis will tell you that. So there's 12 people getting an A, 12 getting an A minus. But maybe a percentage of the total would be good to know. Where do I fall within that range?
I think Erica has a question in the chat. How does the cumulative student selecting work for the student dashboard? For instance, Aaron selected all F students, but what happens to the grade if you select an A and a C student? Let's try that, Aaron. go ahead and select a student who's got an A.
So it gives you whichever grades are there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Individual grades, right?
Yeah, individual grades for the 3. So I selected an A, B, and a C. So it selects all 3 and puts it in that box.
Got it.
I don't know what it does if I add more.
So, for instance, okay. Yeah, that could be confusing, right? I think when they created this dashboard, probably the focus was more on, hey, for a specific student, or like the students that are like, I don't know, all that did got C or F or whatever. I'm not sure if they were trying to. I don't know. I'm not
They
sure.
give a list of all students there at
Yes.
the top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are all the ones I selected, but it doesn't have enough room to display it all because it's only so
Yeah.
wide. Again, to your point, it's probably only supposed to be for a single student look back, not like a ton of extra people.
Correct.
That's true.
Anybody else on the chat have any questions? Erica, any other question? Erica or Chris or Alan or Michael?
Can you tell which student is connected to which grade? Try hovering over the grade.
You mean in this view?
I just think it's the order in which you select students.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. So I think Adams, like the Douglas Adams, has an A minus and follow, so on.
Oh, looks like it's alphabetical.
Alphabetical, yeah.
Okay. Nice. Erica, have a follow-up. Can you tell which student is connected to which grade? I think you can, right? Is that true?
Unless she's talking about this, then the answer is no.
No. Okay.
Even down here, that's a good point because if you have more than one selected, you don't know which one of these applies to which of the 2 students that you've selected.
That's true.
Yeah, so we may need to address all of that. We may need other type of filters or another one more visual, right? To address some of that, because what we have here. Oh, so what is that drop down? What does it say?
I think this is. Yeah, I think this is supposed to be over here with the course. I think it's the course.
Okay, gotcha. So Chris says it's unclear how to aggregate metrics for multiple students in meaningful way. I imagine that's what it said. Makes for multiple students in a meaningful way. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you did here that this person did all red. Go back to that person. So
missed all of them.
She got an A and still miss the assignment.
That's a good point.
She got an A. Well, I mean, this could be dummy data, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
But
yeah, an A is going to 93%.
Probably the weightage for those initial few assignments must have been higher, I guess. Because
had perfect scores and then just stopped.
Yeah.
Correct.
It does show that it's been viewed. I don't know what that means. You know, the assignment. You know, maybe they can count how many views they had. But maybe she dropped the class.
I see.
Yeah, it's also dummy data, so you never know.
Yeah.
Correct.
But just in general, you know, I like the visuals. I like it's not super complex, and it does tell a good story for the purpose of that they made this for.
Do you think that this chart on the right, the one with the squares, do you guys think it could be used for something different other than education or scores? This could maybe be used for, I was just thinking it may be used for like a solution for whoever is calling to, you know, for IT, for example, with problems with maybe some tools or, you know, I'm just thinking what else can we do with, because I like the chart, right? It's easy to understand, So you can probably use this for something else.
I think of a use case would be if you had monthly goals of whatever, and you could see how you've trended. Like this goal for whatever this is met it every time. Great, good job, guys. Correct. This one, not like what's going on. We continue to meet the goal every single month. Let's fix whatever this problem is.
Correct.
Right. Another use case here, I think, would be your inventory supply. Right. You can have like a list of your inventory items in place of the student rows, and then those three categories can be sufficient and something like that, right? Lacking, the inventory is lacking, and something like that.
Okay.
So it can be used for inventory supply chain use case as well.
Yeah, or like exactly when you're low on or each one of this could be, let's say that this is 12 months, and every single month, and you can say, okay, I'm low in this one. This one I'm kind of low, right? The yellow could be like I'm very low, and the yellow is like I'm half there, and the gray is I'm fine. So there's something like that that can be used too. That's true.
Yeah, it's similar to how you can do that, like with a bullet chart. If you're within a certain percentage, you can color it a certain way.
Okay.
As long as you had that legend, explaining what's going on up here.
Correct. No, I like that. I think that also this could be if you're late, you have clients, and if you're late or somebody's missing or something, right? Like you can use it for so many different things related to something that you want to track. So it's more like if you're tracking something.
Yeah.
This
Projects.
could be a good way. Projects.
Yeah.
And this one on the left could be your projects, and then on here is just you're tracking your projects through time. So another thing like that. So it can be used for many different things, and because it's easy to understand. Yeah. So Chris says MA grades bar seems insensitive to the course filter. Yeah.
MA.
I'm not sure why this is. It's just floating over here. It should be way over here.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the instructor. Okay.
There's no way to change the instructor. Well, that will be another.
No, because this dashboard was built for this instructor for his students.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Cool.
But you can imagine if this is some other company, and it's each manager has their own employees, and you can manage your employees that way too.
I think Mark Atwood is a student here, and
is a student. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, the second bar here, right? I think Chris is talking about that bar, the 11.25 bar. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out why it's another color.
Yeah.
It's the only one like that.
Because it's the smallest, because they want to show the smallest of all of them. Maybe.
Do they have like a sequential gray color going across the bars? I'm unable to figure that out.
Yeah, maybe this one looks a little darker than like the rest of these, but it's so hard to see. But that must be why that's colored so dark, because it's so low.
Just to put emphasis on it, maybe.
Yeah.
So when you click on the filter, Chris said that it just affects the one on the right.
Yeah, the heat map kind of chart.
The heat map. Yeah, that's true. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, that can be confusing, right? Because then you're not affecting everything.
Probably a user guide on how to navigate the dashboard would be helpful here, I guess.
Correct. It's a very good idea.
Using the show hide, you can do that in Tableau, right?
Correct. No, this is a good idea, and it's easy to add to this dashboard.
Yeah.
So probably this filter on top should have something that said select to, you know what I mean? Like to what it's going to do. Like if you select this filter, what is you're expecting to do? So it doesn't tell you that. It's confusing.
Or you could just add it like a little line below the title for the heat map, right? How are my students doing with assignments? Now that filter, like the course filter, if that's a parameter or a filter, I guess you can just add in the course name within, like using the insert option when you go and change the title in Tableau, right?
Correct.
So you can just assignments for this course. So I think that'll just make it more clearer.
More clear. Correct. Oh, thank you for that. Anybody else from the chat? Michael or Eric, anyone else have any other comments? Any other comments? Getting close. Anybody else?
I'd probably get rid of all these lines too.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. You don't need them. Yeah.
Chris says that it's a problem that the left and right sides aren't showing the same underlying data.
Okay.
I think he means that when we sort by grade or by student, the heat map also needs to sort in the same way. Is that what Chris is referring to? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So because you can't sort, because I can't sort this by
have like
grade.
a common.
So it looks like the right side is a subset of the overall. The left seems to be the overall. Got it. Okay.
Yes, if I wanted to see all the A students and how they're doing, I can't do that. I can't even do that with this side.
Yeah.
When you select individual students on the left, does it filter the ones on the right?
It highlights it.
Highlights them. Okay, gotcha.
So at least there's that, but I get the sorting issue.
Filter random sorting. Okay. So it highlights them at least, but it's I mean, more than a look at it, I think, do I really need to have the name twice? I don't know. I think that we should, you know what I mean? They should align one by one. And you don't have to do it twice. You don't have to have these names here listed twice. So you have student and student.
Because you could still have this as like a histogram on the student and just have this as one sheet.
Correct. Or what you could do is just show the one on the right and have that bar in the tooltip.
Yeah, Viz in a tooltip. That's really good.
Yeah, so you have the one on the right only and the bar on the tooltip. So you have the one on the left on the tooltip. When you hover, it gives you that. And then you can save all that space.
Yeah, the heat map could become a little bit more readable then you can probably have like bigger row size on the heat map.
That's true. So the lack of synchronized scrolling across charts. You're right. That's one of the limitations. Yes. So one way to fix it will be just eliminate one to the left, put this bars on the hover, right? Because I think the story is in the right? That's what you want to track. And underneath with the 3 different questions that are underneath. I think that's sufficient. You don't need anything else.
Yeah.
That will be something that I will do if I had to redo this visualization. We'll just try that.
You probably could dual access these two and put them in one if you wanted to.
Is the scale same for that?
It's close.
Is it the count, right?
Yeah, it's just a count.
Yeah, then probably we can do that.
You can probably do that too. Okay. Well, I think we're almost done here. We're pretty much done. I mean, thank you everyone for in the chat, for participating. Thank you, Mohammed, for being here today with us. I mean, this was we love.
Thank you for having me over. This was good. I really enjoyed it.
You really enjoyed it. Anything that you wanted to share about your experience? Like, what do you think about bringing this type of visualizations to talk about it? What do you think?
I think just the mystery element in it just gets you thinking of what the next person is going to showcase, and having people engage via YouTube comments or LinkedIn comments, I think it's really great. I mean, that way we're like actively engaging with people, and it's always good to see new ideas pop up in the comments, right? Or what the audience, like the speakers, might not be aware of. If they miss something, I think the audience does a good job at that, bringing them up.
Correct. You always learn something new, from Chris, for example, today. He had a really good points that, to be honest, I missed. I didn't notice this or that. We always have that every week where someone says something that I just missed. I just couldn't figure it out. And that's the idea of being a mystery chart, right? And that happens every single day in every business, every day. You know, you're bringing visualizations, you're showing something new. It can be a presentation, and so many people in that room, room looking at this visualization for the first time could be misleading, could be confused, and that's the idea of us trying to learn how to make them better and to start thinking about how other people are thinking. So that's the idea. So, Aaron, anything that you wanted to say about this?
I just want to say the reason I like doing this show is because you're looking at things you've never seen before, and you immediately have to process it, as opposed to if you like, for example, this dashboard, I came prepared. Like, these are the things I like. Here's the kind of the things that I don't like. But overall, it's the best dashboard I've ever seen. But then everybody else gets involved and like, yeah, but what about this and this and this? I'm like, man, I missed all those. And I wouldn't have done if I would have just pushed this out to production and said, here you go, guys, congratulations. All those questions would have come back. And so it kind of goes back to what I always say is collaborate, to get ideas from other people before you push things out, because you need as many eyeballs in this thing as you can.
Correct. So it's a good idea to probably go through this process. So some of the things that we're learning since we started this show is a lot of people are saying, I want to go through this process with a couple of people on my team before I just go to that big meeting, or like, to show this to even my users. I should go this through some people, because I will learn about other things that I can improve about my dashboard, my visualization. So it always helps to go through that. Yeah. So this is great.
Great show, guys.
Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. I hope to see you again. You're always invited. Like I always said, everybody, you wanted to come here again. And anybody that is watching, if you want to participate, let us know. This is for everyone. And anybody can participate. And if you know anybody or another of your peers who wants to participate, just let us know. We're open here. We're doing this every week. We're going to have different themes. I can't wait for Halloween themes. It's going to be incredible. A lot of fun. Christmas theme. Thanksgiving. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So let us know. And thank you so much. Please follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube at Data Meeting. Please follow us. And we also have the hashtag Biz Speakers, and just let us know, and please follow us and give us our thumbs up, and let it help us, because if we get more followers and people to follow us and help us, we can keep doing this every week. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
See you guys. Bye-bye.